businesses. So thank you for joining us today. And to help us understand how to navigate this world of AI, we have a fantastic panel of experts. Welcome, Mike Lee, President of Fundica, Christopher Stewart, CFE, or Certified Franchise Executive of Bloom & Blinds, and Alex Bergen, Vice President of Authorize.net. Gentlemen, can you take a moment just to introduce yourself, your business, and role at a high level? We'll start with Mike, and then Chris, and then Alex. Over to you, Mike.
Well, thank you. Pleasure being here today. So I'm CEO and co-founder of Fundica. Fundica is a funding search engine that enables small businesses to identify relevant government funding. I mean, we've been working on for the last few years, and we're always trying to shorten the distance between funding and entrepreneurs.
Great. Christopher Stewart. I'm COO of Bloom & Blinds. We're a window covering franchisor. Business operation since 2014 as a franchise space, currently supporting 74 families in small business operation from coast to coast. We specialize in blind shade shutters, motorization, home automation, all the things service related to window coverings, repairs, and the associated accessories revolving around that. But we are a proud customer of the SBA and consumer of the services provided. So I'm proud to be here and participate in Small Business Week.
Hey, Mark, I'm Alex Bergen, the Vice President of Authorize.net at Visa, and I've been fortunate to work with small businesses for the majority of my 15-year career in payments. Authorize.net is a platform that enables small businesses to accept payments online, and we've been working with merchants and small businesses since 1996. As a leading payment gateway, Authorize.net is trusted by more than 430,000 clients today, and we handle more than 1 billion transactions and 149 billion in payment volume each year.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Let's get this conversation started because, again, this topic is hot, it's trending, but people don't really have the depth, I feel, as I've visited 35 states across the country, and this issue or this challenge or this opportunity gives our small businesses rapid heartbeat is what I call that. So we'll start with Mike and Alex. It's critical that financial institutions and payment providers are committed to helping our small businesses leverage AI capabilities to grow their businesses. So here's the question. How are your organizations exploring and solving for ways in which AI can be leveraged to accelerate small business growth? And we'll start with Mike and then Alex.
All right. Well, AI is really kind of bringing us to another level. It's really allowing information to be a lot more accessible and for businesses to move much faster. In terms of the way we are trying to help businesses, really, when you look at funding, there are a few different areas of it. And the first thing is really discovering the right program. So there's lots of AI that can be used for discovering. Once you discover it, it's tracking it. Is it still current? Is it still available? How much is available? So there's AI there as well. Then there's also relevancy. So you've discovered some programs, you're tracking them, which ones are the most important. Again, AI is something that can really help with that. And finally, and I guess kind of the final frontier in that would be to help with actually the application. So getting the funding application in. So those are a few of the areas that we see that are very important that we're trying to help advance in the kind of funding cycle.
Yeah, thank you. And AI is becoming more mainstream, but it's not necessarily new. Visa pioneered the use of AI back in 1993, actually, becoming the first payments network to use neural networks for real-time risk-based fraud analytics. Today, fast forward to now, we're increasingly using data and data-driven technologies for a wide variety of purposes across our business, including security, product and service delivery, operational efficiency, and network reliability.
Well, thank you for that explanation and giving us a history lesson in terms of 1993. I don't know how many people knew that. I did not. So that's certainly perspective. I'd like to go back to Mike. Mike, a challenge faced by many of our small business owners is, of course, access to funding. How have you seen AI help solve the pain points business owners are facing when trying to access new funding in this space?
Well, we've been around for a few years, and what we've seen, there is AI is helping businesses find this funding and apply for this funding. So we've now seen millions of dollars that have been able to actually secure in using this. And so it's very exciting to see that. So kind of going back to what I talked about before, the different aspects of funding and all the way from discovering it all the way to applying, we've seen success in all of those. And I think it's only going to accelerate going forward.
I think that's a great transition. It's only going to accelerate going forward. So you can pin that. And now I'd like to go over to Chris. Chris, it's important that we have you in the room, of course, based upon your position as working in the franchise and with Bloom and Blinds. Have you experienced any of the challenges to funding Mike described? And overall, can you share what your experience has been with AI? We're certainly curious about that. And have you been surprised by what it can do for your business?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of uniqueness to the funding challenges in a franchise business versus any other business operation. Startup costs, franchise fees are unique. There's call it something else in another operation, but what we typically find that AI is servicing our candidates that are coming to a franchise system well as knowledge, and the speed to knowledge that as they're engaging in different pursuing different funding options and sources, be it the SBA or traditional bank loans or whatever else, the Roth rollovers or whatever else they're choosing to pursue. There's AI's provided a speed to understanding that I think was previously unrealized, and it's what it's allowed is a higher level of thought process. The terrestrial constraints of what is possible are now gone because of the speed of the computing power that AI machine learning bring to the game. It's not new, right? I also was unaware of Visa's history into it, which is rather cool. But it's not new. It's how it's applied that's new. That it's down to the consumer level where it's available to everybody. So yes, before it became so mainstream and OpenAI, ChatGPT, all those elements barred were available and common knowledge. It was difficult to understand the playing field that a candidate was engaging. And now the ability to narrow that and bring them tailored resources is the perfect use case of how that works. So clearly they know that, so well done. But yeah, the AI is a problem solver.
Well, thank you, Chris. I'm sure that fellow business owners who are watching us now and attending this session can empathize with your sentiments. I love what you said about terrestrial constraints and then where we are with access points. So, Alex, a question for you. According to a recent survey, 84% of business owners believe AI will be beneficial. So I'm going to repeat that. 84% of small business owners believe AI will be beneficial for their businesses, with 85% expecting AI to have a significant impact on their industry or sector in the next 3 to 5 years. So please share with us more about how you see AI supporting business growth specifically. From a payments perspective, how can AI help bolster cybersecurity?
Yeah, I love what Chris said about AI being a problem solver, because that really is, a huge advantage to SMBs. When you think about all the use cases that SMBs can use AI for example, leveraging, an AI-powered chatbot to respond to customers instantly to answer support questions or access FAQs about their company. Others are going to leverage AI to automate back-end processes that just take time, and that allows a small business to focus their resources on what's most important, those strategic priorities. So whether it's those automated processes, helping to forecast sales better, manage inventory, or creating targeted marketing campaigns, AI is here to help small businesses. We also see, in terms of the cybersecurity, we see AI playing a really big and important role here. Payments moves fast, and AI can help us do two main things. The first is AI helps us to continuously monitor transactions and customer behaviors, and can identify unusual patterns and connect those signals across different transactions. The second, and maybe even more important, is that AI can help us detect suspicious activity. and can flag for us abnormalities in real time. And in some cases, we can put a hold on a fraudulent transaction and then escalate it for a human review in a quick and timely manner. So these are two ways that AI can help small businesses now, both in terms of automating a lot of those administrative tasks, but also like helping us on the payment side better fight against fraud and suspicious activity.
Thank you, Alex, for bridging over to cybersecurity and how it could be a problem solver in that area as well, in addition to establishing and really surveying customer patterns and the such. So thank you for making that bridge. There's another compelling data point that I'd like to bring to bear here from a recent survey. 45% of business owners still haven't explored AI, although there's so much buzz about it. So Mike, here is probably a question that many have here. Your recommendation on where business owners should start if they haven't already with leveraging AI.
Yeah, interesting, Mark, that 45% haven't used it. Some of them may actually be using them, you don't even know it at this point, but I guess directly going in. So it's I'm sure these stats are going to change with time quite a bit. So I think two kind of obvious places that can be really leveraged by all business owners. I think the first one is really an email. So your kind of basic communication way. So we are all kind of writing emails more and more now. All the email platforms are bringing in AI. They'll suggest responses. They'll maybe start giving you suggestions about what you should and shouldn't be doing, things like that. So that's all coming in, bit by bit. And in a lot of cases, you can actually bring in more. So there's lots of add-ons. So I think in simple things like email, it can be quite helpful. I think in another place it's helpful are calls like this. A lot of them now, you'll actually see a little bot on the side. I think we all kind of laugh, but somehow another participant just showed up, and it's actually not a real participant, but it's an AI who showed up. And what's amazing is the AI will listen to all that we're saying and then summarize it and then come out with these are the action items. So these bots are very easy to put up. A lot of them now you can get for almost nothing. I think they're kind of very accessible. So I think these two communication channels are one where you could use AI a lot. So either kind of email or composing things, or through video chat. And I often find myself on my second screen, I have either some kind of AI running for me or some kind of suggestions coming up that I'm using, and then on my primary screen, I'm actually doing the work. So it's interesting, and I think as time goes on, it will get even more interesting. So so those are my thoughts.
Thank you, Mike, for those practical tips. And audience, I am going to ask this remarkable panel for their top takeaway. So that's coming up, because if you could just take one or two things from this panel, that's really our hope for you. And we're also going to have a resource on the back end in terms of where to go for more questions. So Chris, I'm curious. We have seen small businesses collaborate with payment industry leaders, key enablers, and even fintech companies around AI. So how can these organizations help small businesses with AI products and services, especially from your vantage point?
Particularly from franchisor, the small business perspective, when you're looking how to integrate AI and these new tools and capabilities that the market is bringing every single day, via avatar or text to video, whatever the tool is, it's simply a tool. So I think it's critical first that whatever business is employing the tool, that whether it's payment processing, a feature that authorizes bringing out, or anything else, that they really drive the anchors home into who and what they are as a entity, as a business, service offering or product company, whatever their thing is, whatever their widget, as we call it, franchising is, that they throw the anchors in even deeper to that, because the availability and the directions that this knowledge at speed can take you, if you're not grounded in your pursuit of your first stated goal, mission creep, I think, can happen very, very quickly. And it can take you far away from where you were intending to go or where you promised to go to your franchise system, were the case. So particularly from a financial processing standpoint, there becomes a kind of servant leadership posture in the vendor aspect in supporting that brand or that company's use case, or how they seek to employ that resource, right? We're all vendors to someone or something else in our whatever our systems are. And I think it's finding how they fit and how they can support what that guide on or that flag for that brand or company is in the first place. And everyone, it's a machine, and every element and cog of the machine is necessary for smooth operation. So, and we say it in franchising, the minute somebody steps out of their position and tries to overtake a posture of somebody else's is when it gets unstable and out of balance. So it's finding where the AI tool and its intention fits and follows into your primary product offering or service, and where the intention of it is a good place to start.
And Chris, a follow-up question. I mean, how's that deployment been to your colleagues, in the business, from the front lines all the way? I'm sure this is very important in terms of senior leadership, but how does it translate into the front lines in terms of receptiveness?
Sure. From the franchising world, I very much appreciate, because our job is to find value, to consistently justify why we're charging a royalty for what we do. And it's to be out front and to be investigative and curious about these features and tools, and discover them on our own burdens and responsibilities before we deploy them to our franchisees. By the time it gets to them, it should be well vetted, worked out, bugs, kinks resolved, and be a instantly productive tool for them. So as we consistently, I think we do a good job of staying the course in how do we use this to apply to this. We asked first, what do we do? How does this help? If it doesn't, it's ejected. If it does, reinforced. And so by the time it gets deployed, there is adoption, and it's almost instantaneous, because in the franchise system, we have to earn that. Every month we ask for that royalty. We have to earn that, and the continuation of that allows us to go find new, cool, advanced AI tools and lay them right at their feet and say, here you are. It's well vetted and tested, and you can pick it up and run with it right away. So the franchise system, the franchise industry, does a very good job of fostering that, and that personally, that's why I prefer it. But the AI is such a common part of conversation these days, that when a friend, if you were, hands it to you and says, this is cool, that other friend takes and says, I want to play with it too. And so there's just a swell of momentum within our brand, adopting it and absorbing it. And it's amazing. We're a window covering company, but we're talking about robot dogs and VR goggles and stuff that shouldn't apply, but it just makes what we do even better, faster, bigger, stronger. So
I'm sure that was a brow raiser for many, including me. So thank you for laying that out and connecting all the dots once more into a manageable game of Twister is what I call it. So I'd like to turn to Alex now. Alex, data indicates a bright future for AI in the small business sector. I think we're not shocked about that. But what opportunities do you see AI enabling for small businesses in the future? And how is Visa implementing AI to offer special benefits, services, and products to small businesses? So once again, we see the bright future, but how's it applying to actual solutions?
Yeah, future is bright with AI, and I think if you look across a couple different areas, there's ways that SMBs can take advantage of it. First and foremost is using all of the virtual assistants and automated tools that can come with AI. We talked about having AI help schedule meetings or do data entry or generate reports, and that is such an opportunity for an SMB to increase their scope on what's most important by automating all of those administrative tasks. The second one, which I think helps to make AI more mainstream, is the natural language interaction. So I think it was brought up before, talking about how we can use AI to help us in things like summarizing meetings, creating action items and follow-ups, and using the tools to take away some of that human burden that can kind of get in the way of getting things done. When I think about the audience here and business owners, many of them are likely e-commerce businesses, and there's a lot they can do to take advantage of hyper-curated recommendations, meaning that there's data out there about their clients. As their customers are coming to their website, and looking at a variety of products and services, AI can help create personalized experiences so that the business can actually curate or create really personalized recommendations for them, which can create great customer experiences, help the business sell more. So I really think that AI is poised to help SMBs operate more efficiently and effectively. I think that's one of the biggest challenges, is making sure that a small business feels like it's for them. It's not just for the largest companies. Every business can take advantage of SMB because it truly is a transformative technology.
Love that, Alex, because I've heard the concept of replacing humans, and clearly what we're talking about in this segment is empowering humans while at the same time easing burdens, which is very, very important to you small business owners. You're covering so much. You're the CEO, the CFO, the CMO, you're the cybersecurity agent, and now you're the AI agent. So hopefully you've received some practical applicable tools, turnkey opportunities for you to increase your efficiency and also empower your business. So we've covered a lot of terrain here. So in the last few minutes, I'd like to invite our panel, Mike, Chris, and Alex, to share their top takeaway or piece of advice from today's conversation. So the top takeaway for everyone tuning in to remember. So we'll start with Mike.
All right, thanks, Mark. Well, I think my top takeaway would be, try AI. I think AI is today what the internet was, say, 25 years ago, except a lot easier. And I think it can be very intimidating. AI, I gotta spend a lot of money. I gotta do little things. No, try the little things. I think those are the ones to start with. Be it what Alex and Chris mentioned. Going through using it to organize your day better, your emails, things like that. There are some very simple tools. If you don't like them, you turn them off. It's that easy. So you try them, it works, it's great, go with it. Doesn't, turn off. Same thing with kind of video chat, or try other tools and other solutions out there. But I would say the main thing is try AI, see what works for you. There's lots of easy little gains I think it can be achieved. It's going to be different for everybody, but it's definitely something that's helpful.
Thank you, Mike. I love that. Try AI. Chris, over to you. What's your top takeaway?
It's here to stay, clearly. I think there is a generational opportunity here that's happening in front of us that's accelerating faster than anybody can realize. The realization that Visa was playing with at 93 is eye-opening. It's here. It's at ground level. It's free. So I think there's going to be a haves and have-nots type approach to it, and it's going to be the ones that are embracing AI and moving at that speed, and the ones that aren't. And I think that separation is unfortunately going to increase as those 45% continue to resist what is a tsunami of information and movement and speed that requires adoption to stay engaged and modern and current in today's business climate. Without it, you're just going to be left behind. So yeah, if you need to try it, you must first try it. Mike's absolutely correct. But you got to give intent first. If you try it and say, what is this? It won't be able to answer you. If you give it intent, if I want you to do this, then it can answer you. So intention, courage to try, right? And the realization that life is happening at light speed, at AI speed these days. And the successful are the ones that can run with it and keep up with the pace of business and life as we know it.
Thank you, Chris. So it's here to stay. Have intention, be courageous. Alex, your top takeaway.
Yeah, Mike and Chris covered it very well. My top takeaway is to be confident in companies like Visa and Authorize.net, how we're using AI today to create better customer experiences, to reduce fraud, to identify suspicious activity. We're making big investments in further adoption of AI to make our world even better. I appreciate what was said about using it. Our CEO has asked each of us to think about how we can use it in our roles. There's different ways you can use AI as a salesperson or in marketing or customer support or as a developer. So with the right intent, as mentioned, think about how you can use AI in your role, and don't give up on the first try. Keep trying and test and learn.
Well, I love what you said there about keep trying. So thank you so much. We love simple messages, don't we, small business owners, in terms of try AI, it's here to stay, have intention, be confident, and don't give up if it doesn't work out the first time. So this has been a timely and valuable discussion. Thank you three for your expertise and making it relatable on these topics vital to growth, adaptability, and continuity for our small businesses. They're the most resilient group that we know. And to continue the conversation, or if you have questions about today's discussion, we want you to head over to Visa's virtual booth and chat with the team directly. And thank you to my peers at the United States Small Business Administration, to SCORE. Thank you to our panelists. And most of all, thank you for taking precious time from your day to join us, and have a most wonderful National Small Business Week. Thank you.